Okay, so in our previous video, we looked at how we actually work with all of these items. So in this particular video, all we are going to do is simply doing our various settings. Okay, now we have a lot of settings, like I said, and we just do a few of them, which I feel are necessary or are needed uh for our study. So let me quickly erase all of these because we will not be needing them anymore. So now let's go to our setting. The first thing I said when I want to work is my unit settings, because if we are going to work with millimeters, with meters, whatever you are doing, you need to specify what you want to do. So on this note, the first thing I will do is my unit setting, and I can do that in two ways. In fact, there are a lot of ways to do it, but let's go to the first one. Now, I type units. Sorry, units, units, and I enter. It shows me what I want. If I'm going to be using the decimal architectural engineering, for me, I just use decimal, right? So my precision, how do you want your work to be precise? Is it to 0 point on the dot, or probably you want it to come to have some decimal places after your your design. So that depends on you. But for me, I like to use precision 0 on the dot. So your angle type, are using degree minutes and second, are using decimal degrees and all that. But for this course, we're going to be using decimal degrees. Then we also have our precision. How do you want it to be? Clockwise. Most times, I actually advise people to put their work in clockwise. Okay. So now, um, your units of scale, are you using millimeters? Are you using you don't have any unit, inches, feet, millimeters, miles, centimeters, meter, whatever you want to use. This is where you set. Like for me, I like to use millimeters because I think for as planners, millimeters actually gives us that um, minute unit of accuracy. But for this course, I'm going to be using meters to make it easy for those of us who are used to meters. Okay, so I'll just use meters because of that. Sorry. Now, there's something that's very important you said. That's your direction, because your direction literally influences your settings when you are doing working with a plan which has coordinates and units. You get the point. So on that note, you always take it to true north. That's this, and click on OK and click on OK. Now we are done with our unit setting. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to be setting is our we have our format. Now sorry, let me do something. Now you see here in my screen, I have this part was not shown initially, so I just had to extend the screen to include this part. Now most times when you come in, you do not see these things like this. Okay, they are not there. So when you come down, you click on this, it's not there before. So that's okay. This is how your default setting is, right? So now to get that, you click on this point and you click on show menu bar. Now under menu bar, I come to format. Most of the settings you need are in format. When you come to format, you click on layer settings. Is literally how you want your layers to be. So let's start with layers first of all. Let's start with layer and see. Now, suppose I want to draw a plan. I want to create a new layer. Click on and say, okay, new layer. What do I have in plans? Let's see. We have blocks. So let's see. Okay, let's use a town plan. Oh, okay, let's use a building plan and a town plan. We're going to do from a building to a layout, okay, so that it makes it easy for us to actually get what I'm trying to picture. So my block, what is the color I want it to be? Do I want it to be brown, white, whatever you want to do? This is where you choose your color. So let's say, okay, I want it to remain as black. But okay, I want to make it brown. I choose my different kind of brown and all that. Or let's say, okay, you come here and say, okay, this is what I want. I click on OK. Now, my line weight is like the line weight is your pen size, which literally tells you how you want your work to be. You have pen 2, pen 3, pen 4, pen 5, and the rest of that. That is also the same thing with your line weight. Okay, these are the different pens we are having. So let's say I want to make my pen size 3.3. Okay, I click on it. Okay, now you have a block when you are working on the building plan, right? Let's say I want to have a different layer for my door. I can say okay, new layer. Let's rename it as door. Then I say, okay, I want my door to be what color? I don't want to be brown. I want it to be probably something like this. I click on OK. Now that's on that. I can also change my line. Let's say I want to make it point 0.2. I click on OK. Now let's say okay. Outside door, I have something like now okay. There's something we should also understand. This you see line type, you have continuous. Here is where you change the kind of lines you want to use. If it's going to be broken lines and the rest of them. Now when you click on load, you see different kind of line types. Okay, you decide what you want to use. When you scroll down, you take the point and let's go to the next layer. Let's see. Let's okay. I want to use lintels. Lintels are always with broken lines, right? Then now let me click on lintel. I change my color to probably match with my wall color. This is this. Okay, right? Okay, yeah. So I want to change my line type to be a broken line. So I can come and say, okay, this is what I want to use, or probably this. Okay, let me click on this. The first one, I come back and select that line and click on OK. Now you see here, it shows you there's a difference, there's a change in what you have selected. So I want to make my line weight probably 0.25. So okay, I come here. Now the next thing I want to click on, probably I want to create a window. So I have a new layer for my window. So in my window, I select probably I want to make color to be light blue. So okay, I select this and my line, I will have to make my line continuous. Now I want to create a new layer and so okay, probably I want to do something like what's it called? My roof. So I say okay, my roof color, I'm going to make my roof color to be brown. Or okay, let's say no, I don't want brown. I want something like blue. I click on this. I say okay, this is my roof color. My line width. Let's make it 3 points and all that. Now the next I want to select. Probably I want to select my how to calling it my vegetation. So okay, new layer vegetation. So I want to make my color to be green. Since vegetation is always green, I select green. You understand? And say okay, my line width is 2.5. Then that's for the building. Now let's okay. I want to have my road or for my plot and the rest of them. You understand? So I'm going to say okay, a new layer, road. I will take my color to be black. My line width to be 0.4, 0.5 might be too thick. Let's just take 0.5. Okay, so this is my setting. So I've done that. Now let's see how it works. Now I click on this place to close it. Now you see when you come down here, you see because of that setting we have done, everything we have to find is here. Say I want to create a block, for instance. I come and click on um block as the default layer. I'll click on polyline and say okay, this is I want to create a block. You see the line here is what is brown because that is that layer. Let's say okay, I want to click on something else and say okay, I want to take a door. I've changed it to door. You see now this is the color is blue, right? That's how you go about it and the rest. Now that's how you work on your layer settings. So let's delete this. The next thing you are going to do is probably come back to format again. You see your text style. This is where this is what I did not do in that particular first one the previous video where I just gave us what's it called, just give us an idea of how to go about it. So now here I'm going to be choosing my font style. So okay, I want whatever style you're choosing will be displayed here. Now see if I click on this, you see it has changed, that this is what I'm choosing. If I click on this, it shows me that this is the style. Now you can also change the style to be regular, bold, italic, and the rest of them here. Now, the text height, whatever you are working with should determine your text height. Now, since we are going to be working with meters, I can say, okay, my text height should be 2. Okay, 2 will be big enough when I do whatever I want to do because I'm working with meters. Okay, but if I'm working with millimeters, I will be doing something like 200, 150, and the rest. Depends on the plan you're working on. The bigger the plan, the bigger your text height. Okay, that's on that. So at the end of the day, just let, okay, maybe I'm done with this. This is I want to choose my style. Click on apply and close. Okay, now I've done my text style settings. Now come back to formatting and let's check that thing. Okay, when you can actually have different textiles and whatever, when if you, let's say, okay, I want to create a new textile. I click on new style one. Probably I want to rename it as plan style. Click on OK. Now this plan style, I can change this font to say, okay, this is what I want. Okay, now you see it has changed this whole thing. I can set current. If I set current, that means that is what I will be using in my work. You can always come back and change it to any style you want at any particular time. You get the point. And when you are done, you always click on set current and you click on close. Okay, that's on the textile settings. So if I want to create a text, say I open the box. You see, if I click on anything, it works with that particular style. And take note of something. You see, the color is blue because it's working with the current layer. So Z enter, E enter. Now see, that's it's working with the current layer. So if this was probably um vegetation, I want to create a text. I say, okay, you see it changes. So the text style is a function of your layer property. Okay, so that's on that. Then the next one we're going to be setting is probably come to format. We set our dimension style. Now, the dimension style is when you're working with a dimension. How do you set your dimensions? What do you do? How do you work with it? You get the point. So on that, I will come to modify. Now modify, if I want to do something here, right here, I'm going to showing you guys. Now you see these lines. If I want to suppress any of them, if I click on this, it shows you, this place shows you what you are working on, what you are doing here. You see, so when I click on this, this thing disappeared. When I click on it again, it appeared like that. You understand? Now if you don't want your text to your line to come from the point of your wall, click on suppress. Like you see in some plans, you just see only the the dimensions from wall to wall and all that. There's no point bringing it out and the rest of them. So you can also work on that. Now that's on that. Now offset from origin literally tells you the distance from your point, from your block to your to the dimension line. That's the offset from the origin. So you can set this as you want to. You choose whatever you want. Now you can also change the colors of your extension lines. You see, when I clicked on red, every one of these is changed to red, right? So the same thing. Now your dimension lines, you can also change the color to whatever I want to change. Now if I choose green, you see it has changed to green. So whatever you are doing here is displayed right here to make you understand, to make you see what you are doing. You get the point. Now I'm going to work by block. Okay, that's on that. So I come to symbols. The symbols, you change this way, you change your your signs. Okay, if I change this to architectural tick, you see it has changed, right? If I come back and say, okay, I want to make this to be dot, you see it has changed to dot. So whatever you are doing at the end of the day, you see it here when you are working on your settings. Okay, your text height, you can now your text, you can choose the text you want. If you want to choose the plan text, you see it has changed. If you want to choose your standard, it has also changed. You get the point. And next thing you also come back is so your feet. That depends on you, whatever you want to do, how best you want it to fit your work. You understand? Now your primary unit, this is where this one does not work with that other default unit. Okay, so now you have to change your precision to what you want. If it's going to be at zero, at 1 point decimal place, at 2 points, at 3 points, that depends on you. Okay, for me, I like using absolute zero. Okay, so at the end of the day, whatever you are doing, you just change your settings to suit what you want. Okay, so on that note, I'll come back to architect to the close view, and I'm done with my settings. Okay, so I said current and I close. Like I told you, you can always create a new or modify the same way you also work with that. So just play around with it and see what you can get from it. Okay, that's on that. So I close that. Now, literally, I've done most of my basic settings I need, but I need my layer, my textile, my dimension style. Now, there's something I did not tell you guys, which was what I call drawing limit. Now, limit, it's not always compulsory. You understand? But for some people, they can, because the environment is limitless. There is no specific limit, but you can try to choose. Okay, I want to work on a specific environment. Whatever you are doing, it's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to teach you guys how to that limit, because for me, I feel it's not really necessary. You can work without limit settings. Okay, so I'm really not going to be telling you guys that limit settings in this particular video, but I will just tell you guys how to come back to a job. Say, for instance, I've done something and I can't find what I'm doing. So there's something we call zoom extend. You click on your Z, letter Z for zebra, then click on enter, then E, enter, and it brings you back to shows you your screen or what you've done. So literally that's the settings for this particular class. So in our next class tomorrow, we're going to start using these tools and see how we can literally explore and enjoy the use of AutoCAD. Thank you very much.